You know, it's been a while since I've updated you on some major projects going on here in the Orlando area, the greater Orlando area. There's some projects that have taken years to get to the point that they're finally at, that are finally moving forward. Other ones you're going to be like, really, that's going there? I never would have thought. So I'm excited to show you guys what's coming up in Orlando. Before we get too deep into some of these different developments, I'm going to answer 4 questions on each one of them. First off, what is it? Where is it? When is it going to happen? And how is it going to change our lives here in Central Florida, whether you live there or you want to use this as an amenity? The first thing we're going to talk about today is the Wolf Branch Innovation District. I don't know that we've actually dug really deep into this before because it was kind of on again, off again since 2011, but it's finally moving forward. It's 850 acres located right on 46, kind of between Sorrento and Mount Dora. It's going to tie the two cities together beautifully and really give you access to downtown Mount Dora and the pocket over in Sorrento. And so they're going to have both professional offices, retail, and a lot of commerce and sort of things going on in the area on top of apartments, single family homes, and everything else. Looking at some of the renderings, it reminds me a lot of Avalon Park. And so I think that the popularity that we saw over in Avalon Park and Oviedo and sort of all of those things over there, bringing that to the west side of town is going to be massively popular. Lake County is blowing up left and right. And I think that as this moves forward, it's going to be important to kind of pay attention to if you're an investor or you're looking to get into something that's a bit more affordable and still be 35 minutes up to 30, 40 minutes away from downtown Orlando. I think this is a really cool thing. So over the past week, Richland Communities actually got approval from the city to finally move forward on a 550 acre parcel of this 850 acre district. And it's going to be a community park, it's going to be apartments, and it's going to be residential. And so finally moving forward, we're excited to see this moving forward. Let me know down below if you have questions about the Wolf Branch Innovation District. Before we get into the next story, make sure you hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. It definitely helps out. And we keep you updated on real estate, big developments, and massive changes coming to Central Florida every single week. The next spot I'm going to talk about, I promise you, please don't laugh until you hear everything that's coming to the area, but I'm talking about iDrive. Now, I was just at an event yesterday and someone was like, hey, there's some really bougie areas opening up on iDrive. And I laughed at first and I was like, wait, I guess you're right. There is a lot coming. The latest development is going to be live at the Point. There's like 5 or 6 different concepts that are opening up right now, September, October of 2024. There's everything from a cowboy bar, which maybe isn't really bougie, but there's also the Palm Tree Club and the Houndsman Lounge, which are definitely elevated experiences. There's going to be outdoor events. There's going to be a sports bar that's opening up this month. It's going to be LED screens everywhere, house-made scratch cooking on the menu. There's a lot of really cool things coming in. You kind of spread out up and down iDrive, and I've talked about this over on our Instagram before, how many other events. There's the Hyatt Regency just sold for $1 billion. They're going to be doubling that and adding on to the convention center. So they've got the W Hotel. There's just a lot of different things changing iDrive, starting with Live on the Point this month. So let me know if you've been to iDrive lately. Let me know what you think. And if you haven't, what is it you think we still need there? Now, in our last story, I talked a lot about the iDrive area, and it seems as though there's a lot of things moving from downtown Orlando over to iDrive. And I think this is on purpose. You have the city that's sort of made it harder for bars and nightclubs and things like that to stay open downtown, with whether it's parking or whether it's security. They're just trying to elevate the downtown experience. Now let's fast forward over to Westcourt. This is right outside of the Kia Center. This is going to be 900,000 square feet of a mixed-use project located with high-rise residences, a full-service hotel, office, meeting spaces, retail, and a whole bunch of things like live outdoor venues. They're also going to be adding more parking, so getting downtown is going to be a little bit easier. When you think about downtown and what it actually needs, I think safety is key. I think having more entertainment options is also going to be really important. And then also elevating our downtown neighborhoods, I think, is going to be an interesting thing. If you look over at like Nashville, for example, they've made all of these sort of interconnected downtown neighborhoods their own really cool thing. We already have that with Thornton Park and Soto and College Park, Baldwin Park, but I think that these kind of things can be brought in together and have a little bit more cohesive thought process. Westcourt is, I think, the first start of that up and down Church Street, and it's going to be expanding throughout the downtown area based on what I'm hearing through permitting and some of the larger projects coming to downtown. But let me know, are you hanging out downtown for Westcourt or anything else? The next project I want to talk about actually is all over Central Florida. I started going through the Florida Department of Transportation and the Central Florida Expressway Authority and started counting all of the different projects that they're actively working on to make our road systems better over the next 5 years. There's currently like 60 plus different things going on and billions of dollars. In fact, just the Central Florida Expressway Authority has $4 billion allocated to spend over the next 5 years on a lot of different projects. And I'm going to talk about a couple of them right now. The first one is the 534 extension. This is actually going to kind of go between the Lake Nona area, right in Narcoossee 417, and extend down into St. Cloud into the Sunbridge area. Now, this is going to be a massive win for people that have to go down Narcoossee all the time, just as a connector to get back down through to home, kind of Orlando to St. Cloud. And so it's about 3.5 miles of roadway. And again, they're going to be finishing this up over the next 5 years. The next one they're talking about is the 516. This is going to be the Lake County and Orange County connector. This is going to go right on 429 and connect all the way over to 27. Many people have been waiting for this for years, and they're already starting to work on these roads. Again, all of these things I'm talking about with road networks are going to be finished over the next 5 years. This is going to take what used to be a 30-minute roundabout, whether you're going over on the north or down to the south on 192, and making this sort of connectivity between Orange and Lake County significantly improved. Yes, it's a toll road, but it's going to save you a lot of time, and I'm really excited about it. The third project I think is going to be really interesting is down in the Davenport area. It's the 532 widening. This is going to take 532 from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, kind of in that 1792 area over to Old Lake Wilson Road. This is going to make interconnectivity in that whole area significantly better. If you've ever been there between 5 and 7 p.m., you know what I'm talking about in terms of traffic. Hopefully, so if you're down in that area, this is going to help your daily commute. Moving over to the Florida Department of Transportation, there's actually a lot of other things coming to the I-Drive area over the next 5 years. In fact, if you look at the Sand Lake Exchange, the Darrell Carter Parkway Exchange, or over on 535, you can see there's already massive things going on, whether it's widening of roads, there's new off-ramps going on, and it's really clearing up a lot of the stuff that we see up and down I-4 in regards to daily traffic. I'm really excited about this as somebody who goes up and down I-4 a lot. Now, the next step that they're going to do is extend the whole toll road situation up and down I-4 through Davenport, down the road a bit, so that kind of clears up a lot of the theme park traffic that we get. Those are 4 of the major projects that if you're going to look up over the next 5 years are going to make a massive impact on our daily commutes. Let's give you an update on everything coming to the Apopka area. Now, we've done a whole video on this a few weeks ago, and I think it's still worth noting because there's even new stuff that's happened since our last video. Where is Apopka, by the way? It's right off the 429, really is the easiest way. Kelly Park is where the most big developments are coming. You've got the Wild Oaks development. It's going to be a $1 billion plus development, and it's got a new town center that's going to be coming there that looks a lot like Baldwin Park, in my opinion. If you look at some of these renderings, it's actually really impressive though it's coming there. They're also already selling homes in that area, and at full build out, I think it's going to be a really impressive sort of area. You've also got another 65-acre parcel not too far away from Kelly Park, about 10 minutes away, that was just bought up. It's going to be adding another 400 new apartments or 350 new apartments, as well as some new retail, and sort of just starting to reshape and sort of mature up Apopka. For the longest time, it was sort of greenhouses and a lot of kind of tapped land, and now they're developing back for a little bit more affordable options. Being that Apopka and Wild Oaks is maybe just 5 or 10 minutes away from the Wolf Branch Innovation District that we talked about earlier in this video, it's easy to see how that whole 429 corridor is going to continue to improve with accessibility, more retail, more housing options, and hopefully create affordability for this whole west side of Orlando. When I think about the changing landscape of Orlando, greater Orlando, and bringing in other jobs that aren't just tourism and hospitality based, I think a lot about Neocity. And it's been a while since I've updated you on what's actually coming to that 500-acre development in St. Cloud. This is sandwiched right on 91 in between East Toho and Large Lake Toho, and it's really changing the job landscape for this area. They're basing a lot of the stuff that they're doing there on technology, AI, semiconductor sort of thing. They've had almost $300 million in investment into the Department of Defense and other things coming up. Over this past couple weeks, there are actually 10 new startups that were awarded grants to move into what they call plug and play. And plug and play is behind, they've invested in like Dropbox and a whole bunch of other really big names that you would definitely know. And so it's really cool to see some of the infrastructure finally coming along the way, new roads, new jobs, kind of beyond sort of Neocity Academy, which was there, which is a first of its kind academy in Osceola County. So I love this whole project and what's actually coming forth, and to see that even though we're in this weird time right now of sort of a soft economy, that people are still investing into this area and the future of what I hope to see Greater Orlando become. So let us know, have you heard of Neocity before, and what do you think about what's going on there? All right, so I hope you learned something about what's coming to Central Florida. I know I did. I love studying this kind of stuff. And by the way, if you're looking to sell or buy a house anywhere in Central Florida, my real estate team and I would love to be your real estate resource of choice. We got over 1,000 5-star reviews over over on Google, and we're here to help when the time comes. Reach out at theorlandoreal.com/YouTube to get started. We'll see you guys on the next video. Shoo!